Kissing is hard to stop. It's like Pringles.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
That's the word. Hi, welcome back to Shaz and Emma for Salt. Instead of doing like carpool karaoke, we're gonna do like carpool quizioke. And we are gonna be asking and answering the questions you wish you could ask your single and married friends. And we're doing it in my car today because my baby won't sleep.
So guys, we put out on Instagram what kind of boundaries you guys have put in place, and we're going to go through all of the stages of the relationships and talk about what boundaries we've put in place.
Okay, what did Instagram say?
So Instagram said in dating that apparently someone has a boundary of only seeing each other once a week to guard your heart. What do you think about that, Shaz?
I get it. Like, you don't want to become obsessed with that person.
Yeah.
But when I was dating my now husband, I saw him like every day, as much as I could. I'd literally be like, oh, I'm so lonely, I have no one to take me around. And he'd be like, I want to hang out too.
I kind of get it in the sense that, like, you don't want to kind of rush things. Like, things can get very intense very quickly sometimes, so I kind of get the like intentionally slowing down and pacing yourself, but I also think it's a little extreme. Like, if I'm dating someone, it's because I really like them and I want to be around them all the time.
Yeah,
like
a once a week rule is a bit firm.
Yeah,
just, you can guard your heart.
Yeah,
but you can also hang out with the guy you fancy more than that.
Exactly.
What else?
No sleepovers. Kissing is hard to stop.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. That one I definitely agree with. I think that's just wise.
Someone who has had sleepovers, someone who has then had to try and stop having sleepovers, so much harder.
Yep.
It's possible to stop once you've started, but they're right. Kissing is hard to stop. It's like Pringles.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
That's the word.
Okay, Shaz, what was the best boundary you put in place for dating?
Like, I didn't have money. But one of the best ones I have heard about is like no blankets. Right? Like, like you're hanging out together, you're watching a movie, there's a blanket, there's like thigh touching, and like, it could just get a little bit steamy under the blanket. So.
I think for me, the best thing is to just be super clear with your communication. Like, don't lead somebody on, but also
if you're not feeling it,
just say. But also, if you're not sure, just say. Yeah. Like, there's a way.
You want to get to know them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a bad thing. If you're not sold on them yet, surely that's just wisdom.
Exactly. Like, dating is the time to figure out, like, do you like someone? Could you see this going somewhere? Yeah. Like, just be super clear and communicate that. And I know that when guys have done that with me, I have had so much respect for that, and it's honestly saved me so much anxiety. I'm not filling in the blanks then. I know where you're at. So what was the best boundary that you wish you'd put in place?
Oh my goodness. I wish that I'd had like a bit of a rule that every time I had a breakup, I'd like not date for a month, 3 months, whatever, because it's so easy to hop from one to the other, because when you're heartbroken, you want attention, you want to know that you're special and you're beautiful, and if you're insecure and needy like I was, you just jump from relationship to relationship, and if not a relationship, you have a guy on the back burner, which is not kind to them, and it's also not kind to you.
That's a good one.
What about you?
I think for me, like, I can probably look back on some like past relationships and be like, I think I just went in too quickly, like emotionally. So I think, looking back on some of the guys that I've dated, I wish that I had just not gone in so hard so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, and just kind of paced myself in terms of how
much you share.
Yeah.
What did Instagram say about like engagement?
So Instagram said marriage prep, defo.
Key. Marriage prep is so informative. It helps you figure out like if you've got any sort of preconceived notions of marriage, of gender roles, of like finances. What about like if you're infertile and you can't have children, like will you adopt? Like it asks the big questions that sometimes are just really awkward to do when you're dating and engaged because you're not married yet.
Exactly. And also ask questions that you won't necessarily think of. Not being alone too much together. I guess context with that one as well, isn't it? Like if you're alone outside in the daylight, like probably fine, but like at night in your house, no one's there.
If you live alone, like just try and manage how much time you spend alone together. If you live with other mates, like hang out in the lounge with your friends, like let them get to know them.
Totally. One interesting boundary: no kissing till engagement.
I failed at that one if it's a requirement.
No. I think, if that's what you want to do, fair enough. I think, I don't think I'm going to do that. Don't isolate yourself as a couple.
Yes. So good. It's so true. Like, you've got to keep up with your friends. Like, I know that it's easy to be like, I just want a husband or I just want a wife, but when you have a husband or wife, you still need your best friends.
Totally.
I still need you.
Thanks.
He has a lot of things to say about boundaries because I'm raising him to be a strong feminist.
We love it. Yeah, best boundary when I was engaged was remembering that actually, even though I was engaged, I wasn't actually married to the person, and actually I didn't have to go through with it if I didn't feel like that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, also like that gives you a sense of like of peace, right? Like you're not married yet. You're not like bound to this person yet. Like you still have your complete free will.
Yes.
And the ability to like to say actually like no, I don't think I want this in my life.
Yep.
I gotta fill up with petrol.
Alright, so we're gonna pause right there.
Take a nice
intermission.
A few moments later.
So Shaz, what was the best boundary that you put in place in engagement?
I think when I was engaged, the best thing I did was to like limit how much I shared and connected with my male friends. Like, not to say that like I made my boyfriend, now husband, everything and everyone, but like if you've got a relationship with a guy friend, that has to change if either of you get a boyfriend or girlfriend, because it's going to be awkward. Like, that's not, you're not setting yourself up for success there, you're setting yourself up for like a mini heartbreak. I mean, I just had to like put some boundaries in with my guy friends and just say, you know what, like talk to your girlfriend about your emotional stuff, talk to your guy friends about it, you know, and vice versa. So cool.
So what's a boundary then that you wish you'd had in engagement?
Okay, so I wish, this is something we had for a while, but I wish we'd made it a rule when we first got engaged and actually were dating as well. I wish that we just like kept our curfew. We got to a point where like we were hanging out and it would get so late in the night and then you'd just be like, I don't want you to leave, and just like crash on the couch. And like, that's cute because you get to see them in the morning, get them a cup of tea and see their like messy hair. But like you're falsifying your relationship and you're trying to pretend that you're like living together or married or whatever it is. And actually it became really sweet when we put a curfew in, because like Dan would walk me to our house and like leave at like 11 and go home. And some of my favourite memories from being engaged are when we would go on a date and he would walk me to the door and give me a kiss and say goodnight. And it just made that feeling when we got married of like, oh, I like get to wake up with you, not just wake up next to you. I get to wake up with you and share every moment of every day with you. So much sweeter.
I think for me, a boundary that I wish I'd had in place when I was engaged was like not making that person like my absolute everything. I think I didn't even realise that I was doing that at the time.
Well, no, because you're in love.
Yeah.
Like, and this is a whole new person, a whole new world, a whole new world, a whole new world.
I think it was as well, like, if anything was going on with that person, like, I don't know, they were upset or hurt or whatever, like, I dropped everything, like, no matter what I was doing for them. And that's not necessarily, like, a bad thing to do, but when you have no time for yourself, it got to a point where I just wasn't valuing myself at all.
And also, they can't value you and what you need. If you're able to say, like, I need this is my self-care, church is a must for me, and they know how to honour that, like, that's them loving you well.
Yeah. So, marriage. What is a boundary that you have in marriage, Shaz?
Alongside limiting, like, and putting in boundaries with my male friends, since being married, making new guy friends, you just have to be really careful how you invest your, like, time with them. Like, just don't hang out with them one-on-one, because, like, otherwise you're gonna set yourself up for dangerous situations. No matter how sweet they might seem, you still have a he said, she said kind of thing going on there. But then also, like, there isn't a reason why you need to be hanging out with other guys alone without your husband there. If you've got to have a meeting with someone, or you want to hang out with your mate who's a guy, like, do it somewhere public, hang out in town, or, like, go for a walk. But also, like, you've got to mentally safeguard yourself from comparing your husband to that person.
Yes.
When you're in a context where your husband isn't there, like, speak well about him. Like,
yes,
there are infinite ways to speak badly about someone, from just like, he did the thing the other day, or like, oh, classic Dan. Share your emotions with the people that you trust.
Yes.
Don't badmouth your husband to other people. Making a Sabbath has, like, been really helpful for me in my marriage, like, for us as a family, as a couple, and I would recommend it to anyone, whether they're married, whether they're single, like, whether they're engaged, like, for you, for your mental, like, health, for your faith walk, your well-being.
What about one you wish you'd had when you first got married?
I wish we went into counselling. I came into our marriage with some really obvious trauma, and my husband didn't. And actually, like, having someone help us navigate those times would have been really helpful. Like, and it's just a whole different dynamic. Like, you're now living with someone, you're sharing your whole life with them, how to communicate, and, like, marriage prep just doesn't do it all. And if you can do it right at the beginning and get those tools and those coping mechanisms in place right at the beginning, like, you're going to equip yourself really well for when you actually need them. So, what are our takeaways from today's session?
Okay, number one, if you need a curfew, get a curfew.
Yes.
Number two, same with accountability. Don't be like, oh, but I don't know how to. Just do it.
There's so many ways you can do accountability. Not being funny, turn your location on, do find my friends, tell your friends, like, I don't want to hang out with my boyfriend in his house after 10 p.m. Make it easy for yourself.
Yeah. Number three, don't make another person your world. There's so much more to life than just that one person that you're dating, engaged to, married to. Get yourself out there, people. Number four, set up friendships that don't need to drastically change if one of you starts dating.
And number five, if you're getting married, congratulations. Now go get some marriage prep and get some counselling.
That's it from us today. Thanks for joining us, guys. If you're married, single, or mingling and have some good boundaries, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video.
Woo! I don't know where I'm going.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.